Tell the good people what Chris Sims said about Sam Darnold. Chris Sims. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah. Sim said that he believes Sam Darnold can have a Geno Smith like resurgence. And it made me laugh a little bit. Here's the thing about Sam. I think he can play his best football here. The difference is Geno Smith. I talked about the 3 years of playing, Grant. His rookie year, he was 24, then 25, or 23, then 24. He played back-to-back years to start his career for most of the games. Then he didn't have his third year until last year. His third year was last year. And so you saw the breakout play in his third year of actually playing. Sam Darnold has played his 3 years. He's just an awful decision maker. Absolutely atrocious decision maker. He's indecisive, as you say. Do you see that type of resurgence in him based off of what you've seen? Do you think it's too early to make a judgment on him? Where do you stand on Sam Darnold?
To me, I feel like this is ego and pride coming from the Shanahan camp. Like he saw what Pete Carroll did with Geno and said, I could do that. I could do that. He's thinking that Darnold will be the next Geno. Maybe, but I think they're missing the process that Pete Carroll took with Geno. Pete Carroll's patient. Pete Carroll brought in Geno in 2020, had him on the bench for 2 years. It was a very slow, patient process. He didn't just get Geno, throw him on the field, give him a new system and new playmakers and be like, now you're good. Like, no, he gave him years. And I don't think Kyle Shanahan gets that. Like, he's so impatient with quarterbacks, and he's had instant success with a few. So I think he feels like if it doesn't happen right away, it's not going to happen. Or, you know what I mean? Like, he's so impatient. So if Darnold doesn't play well as soon as he gets on the field, Kyle's like, well, whereas Geno took time. And maybe that's why it worked out for Geno, because there was patience.
I mean, Geno, he sat behind some good quarterbacks. He definitely learned as much as he could being a backup. And you're right. They brought him in. They made him compete for a job last year. The year prior, he was a backup. He had played sparingly. But the other thing that he does, or that the Seattle Seahawks do, and Pete Carroll in particular, is that when he chooses somebody, he's all in on that player. All in. Mm-hmm. He may have a competition early like he did with Russell Wilson and Flynn, or like he did with Locke and Geno Smith. But once he makes a decision, that is it. We are not talking about the other quarterback. That guy doesn't exist. We are all in on this player, and that's something that I haven't seen from Shanahan.
I just think it's interesting. Like, Geno is a great story, and teams should be looking for the next Geno, just like teams are looking for the next Brock. But I think you got to look at Geno's journey. Like, Geno he's on his 4th team, and he's been on this team for 3 years. Like, they didn't just get him and throw him on the field. It took time. His quarterback rating initially was 94. Like, he wasn't great right away. No, I mean, in 2020, he threw 5 passes. In 2021, he was 1-2 as a starter. Yeah. Like, he had good numbers, but it was a little bit of a leap of faith.
They also couldn't move the ball on offense, if I remember correctly. I watched him a couple games. I'm like, they cannot move.
So if he is the next Geno Smith, then that means he'll be good in 2025.
Right.
So great.
Not hope the 49ers.
Maybe he is the next Geno Smith in that sense, but that doesn't mean he's going to be leading this team to the Super Bowl this year. That means he might be taking some positive steps 2 years from now, and maybe 3 years from now, he'll be leading the team to a Super Bowl.